It's maybe Apple event day. On today's show, DigiTimes reports that both 6.1-inch iPhones will ship first, followed by the 5.4 and 6.7-inch variants. Why Apple TV Plus needs to go hard this fall, and another new MacBook concept patented by Apple.
This is the Apple Daily.
My name's David for Living on iPad, and I simplify Apple so that everything just works for you. If you want the latest Apple news, rumours and leaks every weekday at 12 UTC, like this video, click the subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss a thing, and join my notification squad. Shoutouts for the new members at the end of the video. DigiTimes reports both 6.1-inch iPhones to ship first, followed by the 5.4 and 6.7-inch variants. Now, I have to be honest, I don't particularly believe this rumour. However, we're going to go for it because I don't want to leave out stuff because I'm not sure that it's true, because then you'll be like, why didn't you talk about this? It's not even like these two iPhones are going to be using the same display panel. Yes, they're the same size at 6.1 inches, but they are going to have different color depths. They're going to have the capability in the Pro model potentially for having 10-bit color and potentially 120 Hz ProMotion display. It's very strange to think that these two will come first. Right, normally we would expect to get the two iPhone 12 models first if they can't ship everything at the same time, followed by the two iPhone 12 Pro models. But that's not what's being said here. Of course, the only people that actually know what's going on with this are the people at Apple or in the actual supply chain, not the people reporting on it. People might be hearing misrumours, but I didn't want to miss it out just in case it comes true, and then you're like, why didn't you tell us about that? Why Apple TV needs to go hard this fall. Now, let's be honest, Apple TV Plus is a nice service, but there's not a great deal on there. It is not a fully fledged service like a Netflix or a Hulu or a Disney Plus even. However, there is some really good stuff on there. I'm personally a big fan of For All Mankind. I really like The Morning Show. Trying is a brilliant show if you like Cuckoo, and Defending Jacob has had some brilliant acclaim. But is there enough for $5 a month? Remember, Apple is also potentially looking at launching an Apple One type service where they combine a bunch of their different services all into a single monthly fee. Now, rumours have circulated in the past that Apple was looking at buying something like MGM's back catalogue in order to bolster their library. Nothing came of that at the time, but obviously since coronavirus has hit, a lot of the movie studios have really suffered. They've not been able to produce new content, and they've also not been able to distribute the stuff they've already got. So a lot of them are in a lot of trouble financially. So I have a feeling that we might see Apple buying up a whole bunch of content in the same way that they did with Greyhound, the Tom Hanks movie that came out on Apple TV as an exclusive, and using it to bolster that back catalogue. There is a chance they might buy a whole movie studio. They might buy not only the back catalogue, but also the studio itself, so that they've got content going forwards. So I have a feeling we might see a huge amount of new content from Apple TV Plus this fall at whichever event we end up seeing it at, wherever they decide to launch Apple One or Apple Combi or Apple Prime or whatever they decide to call it. But what do you think? Who do you think might be one of the targets? I have a feeling either MGM or maybe even Paramount. Paramount hasn't had any massive hits, any massive franchises for a little while, except maybe Mission Impossible and the Star Trek stuff. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. And another MacBook concept has been patented. Now, this one I am quite interested in. I've had a few of the guys in the comments sections of previous videos that have been asking me about this concept, and I haven't heard anything about it, but now patently Apple has unearthed this extension to an existing patent for a MacBook design that basically has your regular screen on the upright, and then the base, instead of having a normal keyboard, has got what is called a dielectric input surface, where the keyboard and trackpad would normally be, formed at least partially of glass, ceramic and or plastic. Now, the reason that it's interesting that they're using those words is that this could literally be an extra display. So this could be the equivalent of having your two iPads, kind of one standing up, one flat, on a hinge, and that becomes your laptop, with essentially a virtual keyboard and also a virtual trackpad just within that kind of display. Now, we know people can type quite ably on glass panel keyboards. It would be quite simple as well for Apple to probably use some of their haptic technology, the haptic engines, to make it feel like you're pressing on buttons, but that would be really interesting. But it also means that that screen becomes flexible. And I don't mean flexible in terms of bendy, I mean flexible in terms of multi-purpose. The reason that iPhone looked completely different from other smartphones at the time was because it didn't have physical buttons, it didn't have a physical keyboard like a BlackBerry or something like that. And the reason for that was that when you don't need the keyboard can get out of the way. And that would be exactly the same concept with this MacBook. So when you don't need a keyboard, your keyboard could become DJ Dex, or it could become a drawing tablet that you can use with Apple Pencil, or it could become, what else could it become? Maybe I've made some notes. Or it could become sliders for Logic Pro, or it could become your timeline and all of your bins, so you can literally just slide all of the footage into place in your timeline for Final Cut Pro. It basically gives you all of the flexibility to do whatever you want with that space, instead of having a keyboard there that's there all the time with fixed keys that don't change when you need to do different things. Imagine the overlays that you get for Final Cut Pro keyboards just being there. Your keyboard just changes to having all of the commands overlaid on it rather than being a sticker. The other thing that you would be able to do with this, because it is no longer an aluminium surface or a metal surface, is you would be able to do reverse wireless charging. So you would be able to pop down your iPhone on it, or your AirPods, or your Apple Watch, and it would be able to charge wirelessly. So we've heard rumours that AirPower is making a return this year, and finally they've been able to get it working. Perhaps that technology is also being earmarked to come to a MacBook with multiple displays at some point in the future. We don't know. This is one of those kind of rumours that is out there. It's not even a rumour, it's a patent, so Apple has filed it. They have done research into it. That does not mean they will make it. It doesn't mean that it is a concept that they're definitely going to make. They might have patented it to stop other people doing it, or they might have patented it to just protect it in case they want to do it in the future, so that someone else can't patent it and stop them from using it. But what would be the way that you would want to use it? What would you want on that second display where your keyboard would normally be? What is the killer app for you that you would want to use on there? Notification Squad time, and today's newest member is Sky is the Limit. This is also the guy who created the renders that we used in the iPhone 12 Pro Max video the other day. Does some incredible work over on Twitter, as well as Apple Tomorrow, I believe his handle is on Twitter. So go and check his work out. I will leave a link in the show notes so you can go and click on it. But welcome to the Notification Squad, and if you want to join as well, do exactly the same. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, let me know in the comments that you did that, and then I will be able to give you a shout out in this way at the end of the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on tomorrow's show, where we might have had stuff released to talk about.